Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I wasn't going to make this video, but after seeing the new MVP system be introduced into the game and seeing the community's reaction to this new MVP system, I feel like I have to make this video because I feel like nobody is really fighting for the players. And I really see nobody talking about how bad this new MVP system is, just in terms of how the game is monetized. I personally don't like that they are monetizing EXP through the Sauna and now this MVP system. But I feel like the ship has kind of sailed in terms of community sentiment around monetizing EXP in the game. I feel like everyone has kind of accepted that it's okay for Nexon to egregiously monetize EXP in the game. And personally, I don't really think it's okay. And it's going to get worse with a future update where they are going to be doubling the sauna time from 24 hours per week to 48 hours per week. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't have frags or you don't get mesos and you pretty much only get EXP. And people have been saying this for like over a year now about monetizing EXP in the game, and it's pretty much only gotten worse and worse and worse. And since conversations started happening about monetizing EXP over a year ago, it went from very light pay to win on EXP to very strong pay to win on EXP. And I just think that as a community, everyone kind of has to decide where we want the game to go. Because I've seen a lot of back and forth, a lot of people saying they don't want this giga pay to win EXP monetization in the game. And then I've seen a lot of people, including even big content creators, say that pay to win EXP is completely okay. And I'm not trying to throw shade or anything at any of the big content creators. And I'm just a small channel with like 1,000 subs. So I don't think I have that big of a voice in the community compared to the bigger content creators. But I am a little bit disappointed in some of the big content creators. I won't name them, but I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. And it's just very disappointing seeing their opinion be more and more and more pay to win in heroic servers. And I play a lot of different games and a lot of different MMOs in the past, and MapleStory has always kind of been my main game, especially since heroic came out or reboot came out in 2017. And I've seen so many MMOs and free-to-play games just kind of devolve into a pay to win shit show. And when I'm playing those other games, they are other live service games where they get updates over time, and I can just tell when those games slowly introduce pay to win mechanics into the game. You can kind of just get the vibe that the game is going to die because of the pay to win soon. And 9 times out of 10, my gut feeling is usually right. The game usually dies because the publisher or the developer puts so much pay to win into the game. I really don't want to see that happen with MapleStory. And I think that there's just so many other better ways to monetize the game. I think if they just start introducing really fire cosmetics into the game, that a lot more people would be willing to spend money on very cool cosmetics. But yeah, when I saw the MVP revamp was coming, I was a little bit weary of it coming because Nexon America doesn't have the best track record in terms of monetizing the game. And oftentimes they kind of just copy KMS and what works for them and what works for their monetization, and they just kind of copy and paste it into our server. Because if you look at the sauna system in GMS, it actually isn't designed like it's supposed to be in GMS. Because in KMS, you can just buy Maple Points with mesos that you can earn from doing bosses and mobbing, and you can buy Maple Points with in-game currency, and then you can buy Sauna Time that way, but in Heroic, we just do not have that option at all. So the monetization doesn't work for Heroic at all, which is why the game is feeling more and more pay to win. But I think the ship has kind of already sailed for monetizing EXP in the game, like I said. And I'm not really okay with the giga egregious way that they are monetizing EXP more and more into the game, but I think as of the other day with this new MVP system, locking behind core quality of life features behind a $600 paywall is just unacceptable. I mean, think of what quality of life feature that you want into the game that is currently not in the game yet. Like for me personally, a big quality of life feature that I want in the game is a real-time DPS meter in bosses like every other MMO has. So you can actively see who is contributing damage onto bosses in the party, and you can kind of get a breakdown on who is doing how much damage in the party. That's a quality of life feature that I've been wanting for years. And just think of a quality of life feature that you want into the game and imagine it being locked behind a very egregious paywall, because that's the direction we're heading. $600 to cube 3 times at a time should just not be a thing, and I feel like the community should definitely start talking about it. And I don't necessarily think that the community needs to put pressure on the bigger content creators to do something about it, because they have their own opinion on what is good and bad for monetization in the game. So I urge you to just voice your opinions out to Nexon directly through their Discord or other means. If you don't want this egregious pay to win in heroic servers anymore, especially locking behind core quality of life features, And I already see Nexon trying to spin it as a perk, as an MVP perk. I see other content creators doing the same thing. They're trying to kind of spin it as like a perk instead of a quality of life feature, but I just disagree. It is definitely a quality of life feature. We have been putting up with the insanely bad cubing system for so many years now, and every cube sale, it's a laggy mess and you have to sit there and cube for 10 hours at a time. And I just think nobody likes the cubing process, at least not the lag and the long animations for every cube that you have to use. And yeah, I just think that this quality of life feature should be completely removed from the MVP system entirely, and it needs to be baked into the game as a core feature. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to rant about this new MVP system, especially because I see basically nobody talking about it, and there are other big monetization issues with the game. But since this one was just recently added, I feel like it has an easier shot at getting removed as an MVP status perked and put into the game as a core feature. And monetization aside, I think the rest of the game has been going in a very positive direction. And I think because of the fact that the game is going into a positive direction besides monetization, that Nexon kind of knows this and they are willing to push the line. And because they are very slowly pushing the line more and more towards pay to win, I think it's crossing the line for some people's perspective on pay to win, but it's not crossing other people's line yet, which is why people are fighting back and forth, because it's crossing some people's lines but not others in terms of monetizing EXP and now these quality of life features. But to the people who think that it hasn't crossed the line yet in pay to win, all you have to do is think back over the last year to 2 years and just see how slowly the line has been being pushed by Nexon. Because if it doesn't cross your line of being too pay to win yet in heroic servers, it will get there eventually at this pace. Which is why I think that core quality of life features need to be put to a stop right now, especially $600 for a core quality of life feature. And to the people who don't have a line and they are okay with all the pay to win coming into the server, well, lucky for you, there is already a server in the game for you. It's called Interactive Server. And over there, you can have no line. It's all you. And just know over there, everyone doesn't have a line there, and you can pay to win and whale out there as much as you want. You can open your wallet, dump it upside down for Nexon, and there you go. But I think the vast majority of players in Heroic have normal lives and normal jobs. And for those players, I don't think that they want to see the game heading in this direction, and I don't either. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to rant about this because I see nobody talking about it. And let me know what you guys think about this new MVP system in the comments. And let me know if you guys think that the monetization of the game is going in a good or a bad direction in your opinion. And do you like this amount of EXP being monetized in the game? And do you like these core quality of life features being locked behind such a big paywall? I'm very curious to know what you guys think about it. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for listening to me and watching the video. And yeah, if you guys want to see more MapleStory videos, be sure to subscribe. I got plenty more on the way. Stay tuned for more, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.